We're going to start with the big news from the weekend. The United States and Iran taking a hydration break. A welcome cessation of hostilities. The respite gave President Trump a chance to stop bombing the Strait of Hormuz and to start bombing at the White House Correspondents Dinner.
The other day, a senator I knew got a text, a great guy, from his wife. And she said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what? In other words, can't go up the stairs and make love. Does anybody get that?
You know, normally I'd say don't quit your day job. But in this case, I will make an exception. Yes, Friday night was the White House Correspondents Dinner Part 2, where the media elite got to hobnob with hobgoblins. If you remember, the first attempt ended prematurely by, let's say, very intense heckling. The frightening scene prevented the president from delivering his humorous remarks, prepared remarks, which was a shame, because if there's one thing the President Trump is known for, it's his joyful love of mirth.
We all know that he has a great sense of humor. He's gonna deliver a really good speech.
I mean, he's funny.
He is a hilarious entertainer.
His comedic timing is really good.
If he hadn't become president, he could have become a stand-up comedian.
This guy is honestly one of the funniest presidents we've ever had.
I think Trump's the funniest president of all time.
Funny how? How the is he funny? Does he amuse you? How the what's so funny? No, seriously, I am asking you. Because when I was watching him do that one joke, he doesn't seem very funny at all. Hey, but you know what, man? Look, I've been in that situation. We all try new material. Doesn't go, you move on to the next one. You cannot judge Trump's whole hour-long special just based on that one joke. Mr. President, what else you got?
The UFC Freedom 250 fight. I'm pleased to announce that we're going to host an even bigger one right in front of the White House every Friday night.
See, this is great. Simple premise. Easy, refillable. We're going to be hosting more fights. So these are just going to be jokes about who's on the card, what the fights are going to be. It's simple. Setup, punchline. Or...
It's every Friday night, every Saturday night. We're going to have fights in front of the White House. But we do have something coming that's, and I'm only kidding. You know, the one thing about, we are going to have Indy 500. Roger Penske's coming in mid-August. Germany, Japan, all these countries, they spend billions and billions of dollars trying to win the Indy 500. On July 4th, we were over at the mall, and it was raining. Supposed to be really bad again, and we didn't do it the following day, and we didn't do it 2 weeks later. We did it when we were supposed to do it. It was a fantastic celebration.
You set up the premise and then you just walk off into the street? My boss is so cheap. Well, before I get to that, it was raining. The guy went 4 minutes before introducing the first joke fight in his own premise.
But I can exclusively reveal to you this evening that for the heaviest of the heavyweights, we will have Sloppy Chris Christie, one of the sloppiest human beings you'll ever meet, fighting, I would say, I could mention the governor of Chicago, but I'm going to mention instead Jerry Nadler.
What? Oh, my God! You don't tell us you're changing the target of your roast joke halfway through the f***ing joke. We don't know the target. Just change it. Don't say, I was going to make fun of the governor of Illinois, but Jerry Nadler. And by the way, are there two more relevant targets? than Chris Christie and Jerry Nadler. Ooh, wait till the former governor of New Jersey and outgoing Congressional District 12 representative of New York get a load of this. Their careers will continue to have been over. But you know, look, you know what? The walk doesn't matter as much as the destination. Please, land this joke.
And they're fighting for a big piece of cheesecake, big fat piece of cheesecake. Who the hell wrote that line?
Who the hell wrote that line? It sounds like you. It sounds exactly like something you would say. Look, this is a solid premise. Let's try this again. Here's an easy joke to land with this premise. Oh, and tonight, I'm proud to announce the next upcoming fight at the White House. AOC will face off against her greatest enemy, a simple question about foreign policy. See, it's simple. Give that joke a go.
And then you have a Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC plus 3. That's her 3 friends, right?
Okay.
AOC plus 3, and I watched her give that answer when she was over in Europe. It was not a good answer. If I ever gave that answer, I would be out of politics.
You don't have to talk about what
Remember,
you saw.
you cannot have a 19-second wait time to answer
Just do the joke.
Simple question. But we'll then have a rematch against an extreme, simple question on a foreign policy.
Nobody knows what you're saying now.
Security conference. It was a big security conference, and this was the first time up.
No.
In terms of that. And
you don't do jokes like you're reading them for the first time. God! He's putting 10 pounds of roast jokes into a 5-pound bag. It doesn't work this way. There are rules to these things. Look, let's just... Obviously, the more complex jokes you're not going to be able to handle. Let's just stick to simple burns. Simple burns. You can't that up. Look, here we go. Here's what I'll do for you. I'll bring out a... Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to help you along. Ready? That's what we're going to do. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We got the rim shot. We're going to do simple burns. You can't these up with your little wandering off weaves. Go.
So they thought about going with a professional clown for entertainment, but Adam Shifty Schiff was not available. You know, he's known, I called him, I hate some people. You know, I shouldn't say this, I'm not supposed to hate. I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person. He's a liar.
Traditionally, roasts work because at the heart of it all, you only roast the ones you love. Saying you hate someone in the middle of the joke really takes a lot of the pleasure. Don Rickles might not have been the sensation he was, might not have been so beloved if he ended his act with, "No, seriously, f*** the Japanese. I don't like them as people." Try again.
And I called him Watermelon Head because he has the largest head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck?
Okay, there's probably something in there, but you might not be the perfect messenger to deliver a roast about someone's big, fat, ugly head. It's another rule of roasting. It's just a different... It's very tough to land solid jokes about something you yourself clearly suffer from. Although, admittedly, your big, fat, ugly head sits on what appears to be not a pencil, but a big, fat, ugly neck. So maybe the joke is a proportion issue. hard to point out the pencil neck when your mug sits on what looks like a rhinoceros's vagina. Honestly, the only funny part of the jokes was watching the crowd's reactions. It was a melange of confusion, boredom, shock, and at one point, a literal existential crisis. An existential... Here's the one thing you never want from your audience at a comedy show. You never want the audience at your comedy show to clearly be rethinking the choices that led them to that night. Why did I go to grad school? The audience was so distraught and perplexed that at times it was difficult to discern whether you were watching their reactions to Trump bombing at this dinner or their reactions to a gunman interrupting the last one. Which brings us to the hottest game show of the summer season. Shooting or bombing? Number one, milling about, some smiling, some are filming, general sense of That's a good mix of schmooze, humor, a hint of concern or confusion. The correct answer, shooting aftermath. That was after the shooting aftermath. Let's go to number two. Sadness and shock. What happened? How could this have happened? The correct answer, bombing. This dude, that's the face he made while Trump was telling jokes. Look at his face. He's literally like, is anyone going to stop this madman? People are going to get hurt. Here's the next one. Let's see. Okay, what is that? Is that the shooting or the bombing? Okay, all right. Obviously, that was after the shooting. I knew you would get it. Pretty easy. I just wanted to remind everybody that the night of the shooting, RFK Jr. left his wife to fend for herself. No. There was no trick to it. I just thought that was like the most up thing I'd ever seen in my life. Only room for one in the limo. Here's another quick roast rule. Try not to build a whole routine around a premise that's no longer operable.
You can't have somebody like a J.B. Pritzker, who I understand is not president, sadly, but, some people say, never use the fat word. And I don't. I would never call anybody fat. I have my own problems, It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, don't call him a fat pig, okay? You can't call J.B. Pritzker a fat pig. Please. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight. I saw him recently. He lost quite a bit of weight.
Then why did you bring it up? Your mother's so fat. Although now, obviously, she's on the GLP-1s, and, she does, if I'm being honest, looks fantastic. Here's what years ago, when she sat around the house, she really sat, although I can't say that now, she looks, 50. The point is this, your mother was so fat, I'm glad she got the help she needed. Here, listen. The health benefit, God willing, she lives to see those beautiful grandchildren walk in. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. The deeper problem for Trump is that last weekend revealed he has lived so long in a magical world of his own creation, curated for his comfort and positive reinforcement. He's the ultimate snowflake, rewarded with unearned participation trophy laughs, that he doesn't even know what's actually funny. Because everything he says is funny in his Truman Show of an administration.
I don't know if I can handle looking 20 pounds heavier. Boy, you said the right thing. That would have been the end of Crow. Good steel, right, as opposed to green paper mache. They do treat me well, Sharpie.
But of course, the night demonstrated another hard truth about Donald Trump's administration. That whenever his warm front of fantasy collides with the cold front of reality, there's no one to blame but everyone else.
And they're fighting for a big piece of cheesecake, big fat piece of cheesecake. Who the hell wrote that line? She wasn't high up on her totem pole. Who the hell wrote that? That was actually the only thing I thought was good in this whole frickin' stupid speech that they wrote. That was the only good one, and that went down with not exactly great laughter.
Well, you know what they say, a great carpenter always blames his tools. And Donald Trump is surrounded by tools. But no matter how his writers...
Let's start in my home state of Michigan, which is Ojibwe for we're saving up to move to Chicago. Yesterday, President Trump visited a GM auto facility where he Kim Jong-un'd his way down the display floor, checked to see if a car was cake, and apparently got tricked into signing a lease. Donnie, don't get that rust proofing, okay? It's a scam, trust me. By the way, I know we always rag on Trump for being weird, but knocking on the car hood is probably the most normal thing he's ever done. There is not a dad in the world who can walk past a new car without rapping on the hood to check that build quality, you know? Like, yeah, that's a car, that checks out, yeah. You know what? At least this tour went a lot better than the last time Trump visited a car facility in Michigan back in January, which, if you remember, went like this.
As the president toured a Ford manufacturing factory, this moment caught on camera and video obtained by TMZ. One man shouting at the president, "Pedophile protector."
Wow. Show some respect for the office. That's President Pedophile Protector. Respect. Come on, Michigander. Look, it was an embarrassing event for all involved. Luckily, this time, Trump made it through his whole tour without a hitch, and he was able to move on to his speech.
The trade deficit in automobiles was more than $300 billion annually. That means outside countries and companies were coming in and just robbing us blind. And it was causing tremendous problems for your jobs. But now all of that is changing because I placed this.
Oh, why does this keep happening? Is it the same guy? Is it something in the water? Is it because Trump withheld millions of Epstein files and people are furious that no one has been held accountable for it? We'll never know. But come on, Donald. This will not stand. Hit him with a comeback.
He's a communist. He's a communist.
Oh. Okay, if you're wondering, communist is the opposite of pedophile.
It's not just the strangers on the street. We're even stalking our own families.
Many of these young adults are also tracking their parents.
Teens check their family's location more than adults.
Some will text their parents when they see they are stopping for Starbucks and say, "Hey, grab me a Frappuccino too." Or some are pulling up to date night to join their parents out for dinner.
This is called fan bushing.
What the f*** is fan bushing?
Yesterday was his funeral, and beforehand, his remains were honored in the Capitol Rotunda. Personally, I don't understand this tradition because, I mean, that's his office. Like, when I die, I don't want to be brought back to work and displayed next to the copy machine, you know? I want to be shot out of a cannon straight into the Kalamazoo River as per Klepper family tradition. But the big story was President Trump's appearance at the funeral, where he made sure that the Tic Tacs he chewed were the funeral-appropriate mint ones. I tell you, now that is leadership. This is a nation in mourning. There will be another time for citrus adventure. And then our president and his newly freshened breath stepped up to the podium and attempted to say anything nice. Anything nice at all.
No matter how heated things got in Washington, virtually everyone, Republican or Democrat, liked Lindsay. Well, not everybody, but it sounds good.
I can't believe I have to say this to Donald Trump, but can you just lie to us? It's a memorial. You could paint a rosier picture. I didn't go to my Uncle Lou's funeral and tell everyone he was the Zodiac killer. I said he was good with numbers, you know? Come on, Donnie, you guys spent so much time together. Maybe share a heartwarming story about how you two met.
As you remember, Lindsay and I did not exactly get off to the best of starts. Back in 2016, Lindsay said something rather nasty. So naturally, I did something that I shouldn't have done. I shared his personal cell phone number with the millions of people that happened to be watching that particular day as I made a speech.
Okay, interesting choice. I might have chosen a moment that highlights Lindsay's character, but I guess the time he got 10,000 calls from guys named Mike Roch and Hugh Jass is also equally good. But the point is, you got off to a bumpy start. You shared his phone number, but that's all in the past.
And I remember the number 202-228-0292 if anybody wants to give it a shot.
Who wants to give it a shot? What do you think is going to happen? You think the phone's going to start ringing in the casket? Lindsay's going to burst out of the coffin like, I got to get this. It could be someone trying to book me on a Sunday show. Also, why do you still know that number? I don't even know my wife's number. I just know, like, my number and, like, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's it. Look, I know Trump is the president. So, of course, he had to speak. But I do hope that when he's finished, we get to hear from someone outside of politics with a more personal relationship to the late senator.
Fox News host Sean Hannity is next up to give remarks, to give a eulogy.
Sean Hannity? They couldn't find a personal friend that Lindsay loved? Like a Predator drone or something? You know? I mean, have our politics and media fused so tightly that a premier guest at a senator's funeral is a pundit at a right-wing network dedicated to parroting that specific senator's propaganda in an escalating spiral of grievance and culture war stoking? I mean, please tell me I am being too cynical. That maybe this isn't all just about propaganda and ratings. And this speech will be a beautiful, touching tribute.
Senator Graham was great for ratings.
Do you guys remember COVID? That thing that briefly turned humans everywhere into alcoholic indoor cats? Remember that era where we lost friends and family to the Joe Rogan experience? We were trying to flatten the curve or Delta the Omicron or whatever the we were trying to do. Regardless, I know that Republicans remember COVID because ever since the pandemic, they've been calling for the arrest of Dr. Anthony Fauci, who spearheaded America's COVID response. And this week, one of his biggest haters escalated things.
Senator Rand Paul has released Anthony Fauci's diary entries.
Ooh! Dr. Fauci's diaries are out in the open for anyone to read. It's going to have all the juice, the evidence, and reveal which variant he had a crush on. Now, if Rand Paul released Fauci's diaries, they must reveal something incriminating. So, let's hear what Dr. Anthony Fauci was trying to keep secret.
Fauci writing, "It is not hyperbole to say that today I am the most famous and talked about person in the country, and one of the most recognizable."
Yeah, it's not really a secret. Everyone knew that. I mean, I literally saw Fauci more than I saw my parents. Mostly because they couldn't figure out how to turn on the Zoom camera. What else you got?
He said, quote, "The press still hot and heavy about me. Multiple stories per day directly or indirectly involving me."
Yeah. Again, he was famous. We know that. A lot of us had Fauci fever. I mean, the pandemic made us say crazy things or wear crazy things, you know? But come on. I'm looking for something with substance, not just embarrassing gossip.
In another diary entry, Tony is writing about an Instagram post with supermodel Tyra Banks. And Tony Fauci wrote, quote, "One person said that Tyra was very sexy, but that I was even more sexy than she was."
Come on. Are we supposed to be surprised that Fauci wrote about being called sexier than Tyra Banks? If someone called me sexier than Tyra Banks, I'd write that in my diary. You know what? I'd write about being called sexier than Carlton Banks. I might even write about being compared favorably to a Bank of America. I have very low self-esteem. Honestly, this just sounds like an old man not realizing how unhinged Instagram comments can be. Then another commenter used an eggplant and a water splashing emoji to, from what I understand, emulate an ejaculating penis. Needless to say, a great honor. Look, Rand Paul, Dr. Paul, DJ, Paulie Rand, we don't care about Fauci's interactions with celebrities. Give us some entries with answers.
Had great call with Barbara Streisand. I told her that I work listening to her songs on Alexa. She really did not know what Alexa was. I accidentally butt called her later in the evening.
You butt dialed the Barbara Streisand? These diary entries didn't reveal any shocking revelations about Fauci's criminal negligence or intent. But that didn't stop Republicans from dragging Fauci into Congress yesterday and grandstanding on it.
Somewhere along the line, it became all about you. You became a narcissist and a megalomaniac and a liar. And you've lied to the American people, and you've lied to this body.
Wow. Strong start, Senator Josh Hawley. And by the way, I love the hair.